Good to
How
see
are
you
you? Nice
again.
to see you.
Congratulations
Thank
on
you.
Benjamin.
I am excited.
Okay, so I haven't seen it, but what I love about it, from my understanding, is a family intervenes on a 13-year-old about his problems, but they
He's
realize
15.
15.
Yes, and they're not Jewish, so he wasn't bar mitzvahed. I think that's the problem.
But in the process, the family realizes that they have the problems as well, correct?
Well, it's ambiguous in some degrees because people often don't realize they're the ones with the problem.
Yes.
And I've known so many people that have gone through this in their lives where they have a child who has these problems. And I know adults who have these problems. We all do at this time in our lives. And so the movie 7 years ago was socially relevant, and it's even more relevant now. And Max Burkholder plays my son in the film, and he was from Parenthood, and he's at Harvard.
I love him! Is
So
he here and he's all grown up?
He's at Harvard.
Oh, he's at Harvard.
He's at Harvard. We're in Hollywood. He's doing the right thing.
He's currently there now. Okay.
And he plays my son. We believe he's on drugs, and it's serious. But it's a dark comedy with quirky, wonderful, comedic people in it. And Marilyn Rice Cub plays my girlfriend, and she posts on Facebook an intervention. And that's not where you post an intervention. You want to go at the proper channels. And then Rob Corddry, the hilarious Rob Corddry, is the family gynecologist. He leads the intervention. My brother's played by Kevin Pollak and Sherry O'Terry, Dave Foley, and Clara Mamet, Perry Gilpin. Just wonderful people are in this movie. And so we worked really hard, and they worked really hard, and I directed it, and I was manic, which is difficult, that I was in it and directing it. And we had it's a low-budget, independent film that we're passionate about. And I hope people love it. That's what I'm hoping.
I think that sounds amazing. My question for you would be, you have so many different balls that you're juggling all the time between stand-up and
You shouldn't say those words in front of me. That starts my comedy.
So cool. Can I now be a quotable in one of your stand-ups?
Of course.
I just said it and then
Yes, I juggle so many balls.
What should I have said instead?
No, it's fine, because juggling balls is what clowns do in a circus.
Apples. You're juggling apples.
I'm juggling apples,
I'm gonna,
which is
so
worse, because
embarrassed
those are
now.
edible.
Did you write a cameo for John Mayer?
No, John Mayer actually was kind enough. There is a song of John's in the movie.
Which one?
I can't tell you anything. I shouldn't have told you
Is it
that.
a new song or he wrote a specific song for it?
I can't say that.
He scored it.
I can tell you, no, my composer is Peter Melnick. He's scored 5 movies for me that I've directed. And we have some wonderful, brilliant musicians that gave us music. And John is one of my dearest friends. And
I love that all
this
of your
is Seth
friends
Green.
are here. Oh, hi, Seth Green.
Hi.
Wow.
Congrats, buddy. Can't wait to see it.
I know you have a million people that want to see you, but I just want to ask, I love that you have such a creative community. I went to your event last year when it was raising funds for such an important medical research.
scleroderma.
Yes, I didn't say it because I can't pronounce it.
Yeah,
Did you know I was doing that?
Yes, and most people cannot. It's scleroderma is hardening of the skin, and I lost a sister to this disease, and I made a movie about it called For Hope with Dana Delaney, and that was another thing I'm proud of. And it's interesting that it dealt with something tragic.
Right.
And this deals with a tragic subject, but in a much lighter manner because, well, the movie is self-explanatory. It is a dark comedy.
Right. Which they're always the best ones. What do you have next coming out that we can look forward to?
I'm directing a documentary about Martin Mull, the brilliant comedian and someone I always looked up to. So I'm directing that because a friend of mine, Kevin Bright, producer of Friends, asked me to direct it, and I said, not even a thought. I saw Martin when I was 17, and he's one of my favorite comedian actor people, but he's an artist. It's about him being an artist. And I'm also doing a bunch of stand-up, and I'm also working on a couple of other television things, and then I go on to do more Fuller House things. So I'm busy.
Laughter's the best medicine.
Oh, and I
right?
play a suspected murderer on a show called The Good Cop with Josh Groban and Tony Danza on Netflix coming up.
I can't even keep up with you.
I can't either.
What is your life motto? And then we'll end it at that.
Life motto? I think, put out as much love as you can. And then Rodney Dangerfield once told me, just go like a tank. Like a tank, man. Just go like a tank.
Like a tank.
You just keep focused and keep your eye on the ball.
Thank you. You always make time for everybody. And
I
as
try.
a reporter, I cannot appreciate that
Oh,
enough.
you're sweet.
I'm going to send you to get everyone